All right, we've been hearing from our friends on the go over the last couple weeks, their thoughts on Phil Hellmuth versus Daniel Negreanu. Up next, how about Brian Rast? Let's see what he has to say about High Stakes Duel 2.
What's up, guys? This is Brian Rast.
What's up, Brian?
I'm here to talk about Daniel Negreanu and Phil Hellmuth potentially playing heads up, no limit hold'em in a challenge. It looks like these two icons of the poker world are talking trash and thinking about fighting each other. And you know what? I mean, I think this is a pretty clear one to call. In my humble opinion, it's like you got, on the one hand, you got Phil Hellmuth. He's done a lot in the poker world, but kind of barely plays anymore, just sort of shows up for the World Series of Poker, and that's it. Definitely doesn't have heads up, experience really, and heads up no limit hold'em. So unless he's in his basement training hard every day, in the lab, he's probably not going to do too well. And I say this from experience, sort of, because I'm not a heads up player myself. So I played a lot of poker in my career, but very little heads up. So I'm not going to exactly wake up one day and expect to just beat everybody in the world at heads up, no limit hold'em. I know Phil thinks that, and maybe if you think Phil's just an alien who's way more talented than anybody to ever do it, maybe you pick him. But, I kind of think hard work and studying stuff generally pays off, and, Phil hasn't done it. But guess who has done it? Who has done it is his opponent, Daniel Negreanu. Daniel Negreanu just played 25,000 hands against Doug Polk. Doug Polk is one of the best to ever do heads up, no limit hold'em. And even if today he's not the best in the world, he's definitely really, really, really good and up there. Whereas, Negreanu, like Hellmuth, never really played heads up that much before in his career. And, so in a certain sense, Hellmuth is starting where Daniel Negreanu was. But Daniel Negreanu is not there. Daniel Negreanu is here. He just played 25,000 hands, definitely improved over the course of those sessions. And, interestingly enough, if he wanted to know some of his leaks, he probably found them out from Doug Polk. Because Doug Polk not only has talked about him in videos, literally after the challenge, he's come out with multiple videos on YouTube where he just basically says, goes over hands and says things he thinks Daniel Negreanu wasn't doing right. Like not bluffing enough here, this, whatever. So if Negreanu wants, not only does he have all this experience, then you just learn from his opponent who's just making it public the stuff he wasn't doing right. So I'd expect Daniel Negreanu to come into this challenge as a very competent, solid, good heads up, no limit hold'em player, not only from his experience, but from learning from the first challenge, from his opponent even. And Hellmuth is just kind of jumping in cold turkey. So guess what? I'll take Daniel Negreanu. I heard some websites offering 2-1. So guess what? You can hit me up if you want Hellmuth at 2-1. I'll bet Negreanu. Now, obviously, if it's some BS publicity stunt, 500 hands live, that's it, who cares? 500 hands is nothing. But if they're doing a real deal in the streets, no limit challenge, 20,000 hands or something like that, you got to take Daniel Negreanu. And that's all I got to say about that. Peace.
Well, I think we got to fill Brian in on the particulars of High Stakes Duel 2. I don't think he was quite aware of what exacally was going on, but still,
Rast knows everything about anything going on, but he has no idea about this, really. However, I also think that the line isn't bad. Negreanu is probably about a 2-1 favorite.
Right. It will not be a 20,000 hand challenge. It will be round one of a sit and go format, and it's kind of the same storyline. He mentioned it that we've heard again and again and again. Negreanu has gained this valuable heads-up experience, and it's experience that Hellmuth does not have, and that, in Rast's opinion, that should give Daniel Negreanu a big edge. High Stakes Duel coming up March 31st, just about 2 weeks away. Very much looking forward to that one. Hey everyone, this is No Gamble, No Future. All the sports betting, and Brent, really just all the pure degeneracy.
You gotta risk it to get the biscuit. Like and subscribe.
Please.